Hi, today's episode is what type of house you can buy in Madeira for €139,000. Now, I will be illustrating this by showing you around my house, which I bought early this year, so 2023. I will show you the things that I absolutely love about the house, but some of the things that if I had known, maybe it would have caused hesitation and maybe I wouldn't have been as quick to buy this property. So I just want you guys to learn from my mistakes. Also, please try not to look at the door too much. It's a primer, it's a work in process, okay? It's a process. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath property. When I first moved into this house, I was really excited as I'd only ever previously lived in flats and this was my first house. One of the things that I really like about this corridor or hallway is how high the ceilings are. So for reference, I'm 5'11", so basically 6 foot, and I have more than enough space above me. When I visited some other places and did some viewings, one of the things I found is that often, well, maybe for my budget, but oftentimes the ceilings were quite low. So I mean, I could still stand up, but I was very aware that my head was nearly touching the ceiling. We are currently standing in what was supposed to be my guest bedroom. That is until I realised I have a full-blown cockroach infestation. Exhibit A, there's currently a dead one behind Philippe, the thing with the glass over it. So from now on, this will be known as Brian's bedroom because he looks like a Brian. If anyone has any advice for getting rid of cockroaches, please let me know. It's a lot to deal with. It's not the small cockroaches, it's the really big cockroaches. I will show you a close-up of him because I refuse to be the only person that's traumatised by this. I've picked up Brian and it appears that he is still alive. So I'm just going to throw him in the garden. I mean, not my garden, but a garden. And hopefully he doesn't come back in. Let's wish Brian a safe journey. Something else to be really mindful of about Madeiran houses is oftentimes they're quite damp and wet. So no one's been in this bedroom. As I said, it's the guest, what's Brian's room, it's not the guest room. This is supposed to remove moisture from the air. Again, no one has stayed in this room. Despite that, look how much is there. So my house is very damp and wet. I have multiple of these around the house. This is the main bedroom. I appreciate how large it is. It's quite a bit larger than the guest room. I also like how much light the window brings in. My main gripe though is, why is the light switch so high? Is this practical? Who decided to install it this high? How will children reach it? It doesn't make sense. This is the bathroom, shower, bidet and toilet behind the door. Now, I actually quite like the bathroom. My only concern is I believe that there is a lot of mould being hidden behind the tiles, like a lot. Again, like every other room in this house, there's a lot of moisture. When this house was initially built, this portion back here was actually the bathroom. But one of the previous owners turned it into an extended corridor. So I'm making the most of it by just using it to store clothes and things like that. But I think this is quite a big waste of space. And when I have the money and I have enough savings, I'm instead thinking that I will extend the bathroom and maybe even have like a bathtub here. So following on from the bathroom, there's this room, which was previously used as a dining room, but to me it's a weird space and I will explain why in a second. So as you can see, it leads onto the kitchen, which, excuse the mess. I like the kitchen, really practical kitchen, happy. One of the main issues though has been this room. So this is, I guess you'd call it a pantry. So this is a pantry room. The previous owners had some shelves drilled into that wall. As you can see, that wall is extremely damp and has mold. I have tried so many different things to get rid of mold. I've scrubbed it multiple times, and I even have a dehumidifier machine, but nothing is working. I've spoken to 2 builders who have advised that I would probably need to build like an outer layer on the wall, so kind of like a veneer, so it wouldn't touch the current wall. It would just be like an inch away from it, and it would be like a false wall. And I've been told that that will stop the mold. Well, it won't really stop it, but you won't be able to see it, and it won't really be in the house. So this is the thing that I was talking about. We have that space that was previously the dining room, but I think it would be better to have this space as some sort of dining room, living room area. And I would hopefully achieve that by knocking down that wall. But then I have no idea what I would do with this space. It doesn't have much light in it naturally. And it's not the most inviting space, so I'm not sure how I would manage that. Since moving in, I also discovered that there was a serious leak in the sitting room and in the kitchen. I tried to remedy this by going onto the roof and attempting to plug some of the holes with Aquastop. Now, if I'm being honest, that was quite a scary experience for me, as you can see that my roof is made of corrugated iron, and I was very unsure if it would be able to hold my weight. Oftentimes when I was leaning or moving about, I could feel the facade kind of cracking, and I could feel that it was fragile and not the most sturdy roof. Eventually, I will need to get the roof replaced, but this was just a quick solution for the time being. While on the roof, I discovered a wasp nest, or maybe even a hornet's nest, I'm not too sure. Either way, they weren't too happy about my presence, and I was unable to get to some of the cracks that were closer to their nest. Following 2 days of heavy rain and downpour, also known as Storm Oscar, my ceiling started to leak once again. So I went to Leroy Merlin and I bought a tarp, which I have since put over the roof. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's not aesthetically pleasing, but it's just going to have to do until I'm able to fix the situation. Okay, back to the tour. So the sitting room leads onto the conservatory, which they call a winter garden here. And as you can see, it's just outside the guest room or Brian's room. This has been really helpful when it's been raining, so I'm going to keep it. So down here I have 2 storage rooms. The first one is... it's the washing room. I'm not going to show you inside because it's it's quite cluttered. And the second one is just a storage room. So like my house, this is also, like the main house, this is also corrugated iron. And I think you've all seen my garden. Did I mention that I have a mango tree? And it's actually, oh God, oh no, okay, I just essentially snapped off a small branch. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen because, okay, well, some of them are actually quite big. I think that's really impressive. I don't really eat much mango, if I'm being honest, but seeing as I have a tree that's going to produce some for me, I'm going to try and really take care of them, help them to grow bigger. I've seen this method where people put like an envelope, so it's like you're supposed to put an envelope over it, and I think it protects it from like insects and maybe when it drops. I don't know, I need to research it, but it's exciting. Brian's safely home. Ciao, bye.